Hey coffee lovers, Pete Berres here again with another version of BB Time. As a matter of fact, it's the first version of 2012. It's been a while. I'm sure you missed us. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most common questions that we all receive at Berres Brothers Coffee. And that is when is Berres Brothers Coffee going to pack their coffee in a single cup coffee pack for a single cup coffee brewer? What I'm going to talk to you about today is introduce you to a single cup coffee brewer, how it works, how to make that coffee taste even better, how to cut the cost up to 50 to 60%, how to reduce the amount of waste that goes into a landfill, and finally, how do we get Berres Brothers Coffee in a single cup coffee brewer? Single cup coffee brewers have become very, very popular in the last 2 years. There are many varieties available on the market. I have one here today. As you can see, it's fairly small, fits on a counter very well. And there's two big advantages to a single cup coffee brewer. Number one, when you wake up in the morning, you can walk up to the machine, place your cup under the brewer, hit a button, walk away. 45 to 50 seconds later, you are going to have a fresh cup of coffee. The second advantage is because you're only brewing 1 cup of coffee and not having to brew 3, 4, or 8, or 12, you're not going to end up wasting that coffee at the end of the day. Now, in order to brew coffee in a single cup coffee brewer, a consumer is required to purchase coffee that's prepackaged in a single cup coffee pod. Now these pods range in cost from, if you go on the pound price, $20 to $28 per pound. And the coffee is pre-ground and it's in an airtight container. That's the second thing against it, is that despite being very high priced, the coffee actually has to be pre-staled before it gets put into an airtight container. I don't care whose coffee it is, same with ours. After you roast the coffee, it's giving off CO2. That's why on our small 12 ounce and 1 pound bags, you will see that there's a little nozzle on the bag. What that is a one-way valve, and that allows us to package that coffee immediately, because even though the coffee is releasing CO2 after we roast it, the one-way valve lets the CO2 out of the bag, but it does not let oxygen back in. Oxygen is very, very hard on coffee. So after the coffee is pre-staled and packaged into these containers, you're going to notice that they're never reopened again, so you're never going to be able to check the aroma itself. But that's how you know when coffee has that fresh flavor, is when it has that fresh aroma. Because there are so many taste profiles that come through our nasal passages when we're drinking coffee. So very fresh coffee has the tendency to have what I call that sparkle when it first hits your tongue. And because it's fresh, it will not have any type of bitterness or sour notes at the end. Okay, here's a close-up of the single cup coffee brewer, and once again, here is the plastic pod. Another thing I really don't like about these things is that these plastic containers and foil tops are non-biodegradable. For every pound of coffee that you would consume, there's 28 to 30 of these going into the landfill. Now, besides the fact that the prices are high, another major disadvantage of these pods is there just is not a lot of coffee available. Not a lot of flavors, not a lot of different brands. Well, just as the single cup coffee brewer hit the coffee industry by storm, another great invention that I'm very excited to share with you today is called the EkoBrew. And what the EkoBrew is a small plastic with screen filter that is reusable for the single cup coffee brewers, which now is going to allow you to use your own coffee and grind it fresh, place it in the basket, and close the lid. Now what this is going to do is cut all that waste of that non-biodegradable waste. It's going to cut the cost of your coffee from $25 a pound back down to, let's just go back down to $10 a pound. But you're still going to have the convenience. It slips into the machine exactly the same way. Just close the machine up, and presto, you're ready to brew. When the brewing is done, you will remove it. Quite simply take it over to your sink, open the lid, pour the coffee out, rinse it out, you're ready to go. Well, I've got the basket put into the machine, now we're ready to brew, so I'm just going to hit the button here, and let's brew some coffee. Has a great aroma as well. Now the machine setting has two different settings for two different size cups. This cup that I'm using is very, very large. Normally you'd use something a little bit smaller. And there, your cup of coffee is ready to drink. I'm smelling Highlander grog right now, caramel, butterscotch, and hazelnut. And it tastes great. Now it brews up a little bit thinner, it's just a little bit weaker out of the single cup coffee brewer than it would be out of an 8 to 10 ounce pot. But every time you switch a different type of brewing method, the same coffee is going to taste a little bit varied. But this is very, very delicious. And if you have any questions at all about the single cup coffee brewer or the new EkoBrew, you can check these out on our website. We can place you in the right direction of where you can purchase a single cup coffee brewer. Folks, thanks a lot for watching today. I hope you have a great coffee day.